The guys going through Hell Week, they're up all day and all night for 130 hours. This is the promised land of mental hardening for me. I love this place.
And then you grow up and you take care of yourself and you find the ideal man and you fall in love and you have a white picket fence and you have 3 perfect children and you live happily ever after. Somebody else's story, the old story was, you work really hard in school, you excel in college, you go to work for a big corporation, and you move up through the ranks until you're the president or chairman of the company.
That's Satan. You gotta get focused, man. You gotta understand that this hard time that you're going through prepares you for the life God has for you.
If Oprah Winfrey had not gone through the things that she had gone through, she would not be so committed to making sure that everybody finds their purpose and finds their dream and everybody gets healed and everybody's okay. I'm telling you, what you think is working against you is actually working for you.
Insanity and greatness are next door, neighbors, and they'd borrow each other's sugar. Transformation of human consciousness through meditation is frustrated, so long as we think of it in terms of something that I myself can bring about. Stick with it to get through this uncomfortable times until you know where I can spend time with myself.
And you become successful and respected throughout life. These are some old stories. Obviously, the stories that we hear today of what people's lives are supposed to be like are completely diverse. You no longer have these little archetypes. But one archetype still seems to remain. And that archetype is, in order for you to really feel like you're enough, many people believe they have to achieve an enormous amount. They may do it in different ways. They may do it by building a company and taking it public when they're 27 or 25 years old, or they find and create a new technology, or they become a very special doctor. But we live in a culture in the West that teaches people that you're not enough unless you do something really special and unique, and we define special and unique in interesting ways.
All the hard times, everything you ever thought you would not make it through, you got past it. Now, if you're currently going through something right now, guess what? You're gonna get past that too.
Got to take care of yourself. Do not neglect. Take care of yourself. Treat your body like a temple, not a woodshed. It's the only place you've got to live currently. Key phrase: some people don't do well because they don't feel well. They've got the gifts, they've got the skills, they don't have the vitality. Key phrase: vitality is a major part of success.
A school teacher is not special and unique. A mother who stays home with her children day and night, sculpting their minds, their bodies, their souls, and their future is not special. We live in a world today where we treat teachers like they're nobody and pay them accordingly, and we wonder why our children seem to have challenges in learning and growing or being engaged in school. We spend thousands of dollars on some item like a computer, but what we look at overall, we invest in for the teacher and for that person who's the personal connection with them is so small. We live in a society where many women look down and say, well, you're just a housewife, you're just a mother. See, some of the pain we have in our society is not because there's one right or one wrong approach, but because we try to make everybody fit into some particular approach to life. Here's what's going to make you happy or make you unhappy in life. It's real simple. Let's do a quick test. If you're in a situation right now,
Vitality. I know a guy that raises racehorses. I'm telling you, the guy feeds his horses better than he feeds himself. He's so careful what they eat. He's so careful that they get everything. But you ought to see this guy. 10 steps up a flight of stairs, and I mean, he's all out of breath. Some people feed their dog. Now, there's all kinds of parts to physical. Here's one. Appearance. Never have a second chance to make a first impression. Now you say, well, people shouldn't judge you by how you look. Well, let me give you a clue. They do. You can't deal in these shoulds and shouldn'ts. You'll be tipped over the rest of your life. Here's the best advice I can give you. Make sure the outside is a major reflection.
You know, Don Shula, the coach of the old Miami Dolphins.
I could do this forever. Well, then it's okay to go re-engage, but there's great value in not doing that. Until you go, I'm good with me and me for. Right now, I want to show people that there is a way out, that there is a way to do more, to get more, to obtain more. But I personally don't want to lose all that I've been able to get. So I need to make sure that I do everything to keep it. I do think that if you sit on the edge of your bed and things aren't going very well for you, and you ask what foolish thing you're doing to make it worse, that you'll get an answer right now. and it won't be the one you want.
My challenge in our generation is that gradually through entertainment, through television, through media, through every way possible, we are living in a generation of the dumbing down of hype. Because we have traded effectiveness for busyness. Statistics say we are busier than any other generation we have seen in the last 300 to 400 years. We are so busy. We are busier than a one-arm wallpaper hanger. We're just busy. We are just as busy as we can be, and we think because we're busy, we're effective.
Not being as smart or as talented, whatever, and it becomes this full-blown, I mean, this can really go into like full-blown panic attacks. Because you're repeating it, the more you feel it, the higher the anxiety. So it's a positive feedback loop. So I feel anxious about this, which makes me more anxious about this, which makes me think about it and worry about it more. And so now my brain is wiring it and the amplitude is going. And so when you get into a positive feedback loop like that, that's destructive, now you're in a really dangerous place. So step number one, don't compare yourself to others in a way other than I could become that with enough time and energy. And then number two, recognize that when you have a cognitive distortion like catastrophizing, I'll never be that, right? You don't have evidence to support that.
It might be the one that if you listen to would set things straight. I mean, that's the bright side of tragedy. So when you come through it, you really will have an appreciation for the moments without tragedy. You don't really feel it unless you get. Less life burns you don't really feel it. That's the thing all I'm doing is sparking. The awareness in others to go, why not? Why can't I create? Why can't I start? Why? Can't I be a business? Why can't I be a CEO? Why can't I be a tech? You're theirs. So much that some people just don't understand they can do. When it's all said and done, my book is gonna be full of all the Kevin Hart.
But I want you to challenge your schedule for a minute and ask yourself, are you really being effective? Or is your life cluttered with all kinds of stuff that demands you and drains you and taxes you and stops you from being your highest and best self? And are you substituting busyness and all the chaos that goes along with busyness from being effective? Let me tell you, a bunch of scientists got together, they began to do some research, and they begin to determine that 80% of the things we do are busy things that we do in an area that is not effective, that the average person only spends 20% of their time doing the thing that they are really gifted at, created at, passionate about, excited to do, and the rest of it is all the dismal, dumb stuff that we all have to do in order to survive. Just crazy stuff that we're doing. Wonder what would happen if we would go from doing 80% of things that are busy but not effective and 20% of the things that are really effective.
And even if you do, it does not serve you to spend time catastrophizing. So you are way better off, just from a neurochemical standpoint, you are way better off doing what's called a pattern interrupt, stopping yourself from thinking. And instead of saying, so the nice simple pattern, oh, I'm never gonna be that good. Wait, pattern interrupt, I'm not that good yet.